Let's talk a bit about, yes, sex. I know some people, you're already happy. You're already happy. You want to talk about sex. I will talk about sex. Okay. Sex is such an interesting thing. I have been fascinated by the subject of sex because people do all sorts of crazy things because of sex. Good, the bad, and the ugly. And then there's issues of different things about sex. So let's talk briefly about what we call paraphilias. Paraphilia is described as a sexual activity that is considered abnormal for that time, for that space, for that culture, for that area of the world. Okay. And there are different kinds of paraphilias, and some of them are criminal. So for example, rape is a paraphilia. Rape is unwanted, forced carnal knowledge. In fact, as I heard of the acronym, when people say FUCK, that's what it means. Forced, unwanted carnal knowledge. And so it's the use of force to achieve sexual gratification. So rape is a paraphilia. Pedophilia, that's somebody with a child that is prepubescent, a child that is not adult. And it's both sexes. Males are subject of pedophilia, females are subject of pedophilia all across the world, even in this our great country. That is also a paraphilia. But there are things within the paraphilia spectrum that are considered as kinks. So for example, bestiality is a paraphilia. This is part of the word. The desire to have sex with non-human beings. In fact, the definition of healthy sex is sex between two consenting adults. But that is today. A few decades ago, it wasn't two consenting adults, it was two consenting adults of the opposite sex. And in Nigeria, it is still two consenting adults of the opposite sex. Homosexuality in Nigeria is a criminal offense, whether it is homosexuality male or female. And that's it. But in that spectrum too, there are other things that are not criminal, but are clearly abnormal. So for example, some people feel sexually stimulated by feces. Yes, ibe, shit, nonsense. They feel sexually stimulated by it. Some people, it is by urine. Some people by feet. People have what we call kinks, and people have what we call fetishes. A fetish is a sexual attraction to something that is not typically used for sex. And a kink is something that's related to sex, but is not used. So for example, someone can have a fetish for shoes. And so shoes bring a sort of sexual feeling or emotion. Some for different things. Now this is different from using a sex toy. A sex toy can be a kink. So that's a bit of the difference. A sex toy can be a bit of a kink. Something like shoes, something that is a non-sexual object. And there are different kinds, shoes. And then within the spectrum of what people can call paraphilias, other things, other kinds of sexual activities. Some like